Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. This is a video about a video to come, if that makes sense. When I asked for ideas, and I must admit I not only had a lot but I had some good ones, and I had to split them up into those that were potential talks, as I have got to get a talk together, and I'd like to have two so that I've got a backup one for emergencies. But the one that really stuck out because of the number of plants I've got is a year's worth of Dendrobium care split up into the sets. Yes, and obviously that is tailored to my environment, but I would make comments about things that I do that perhaps you wouldn't need to do in different environments, or things you might need to do extra on top of what I do, depending on it's mainly temperature ranges really, but yeah, so that's the concept. So sort of starting in spring, analyse the types of Dendrobiums I've got and what stage they would naturally be at in spring. Some will be blooming their heads off, some will be thinking about it, some will be not even considering it. But yeah, you know, I mean, I've got my true resting Dendrobiums that really dry off for quite long periods during the winter, but not forever, obviously. I've got my ones that come into a dryer in winter, and then those that have to go into dryer in winter because my temperatures are lower. So I have to look after different sets of Dendrobiums, and obviously the time when I do the same for absolutely all of them is the growing season. You know, so that's pretty easy to explain, that feed and water well. I bet you've heard that before somewhere. Yeah, but then the bit that worries most people is taking the different types of Dendrobiums through autumn and out the other end into winter. That's where probably the most explanations and you know, details would be required. So that's a talk basically, so I will do it as a YouTube video so that you can all see it, and where there are pop-ups and things like that, you can do like you've done in the past with my talks, help me spell check it, make sure I haven't put any dodgy words in. You know, you can't spell check a video basically, it has to be done by eye, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, it takes a while to put a talk together. And unfortunately there are lots of really good video clips that I could do with that have been deleted, so I'm starting from scratch basically. I've still got photos of blooms, that's not a problem, you know, anything that's bloomed in here I've got those pictures. They do tend to be of blooms, you know, close-ups of actual blooms rather than pictures of the whole plant, but last year I did start taking pictures of whole plants. When a plant's in bloom, you know, back away and get a picture of the whole plant so you can sort of see the scale and all that sort of thing. But I haven't got many of those. So anyway, that's the concept, starting in spring, you know, as things are coming out of their quiet period, we'll call it. Some are coming out of virtual dormancy, you know, proper winter rest. Some are just waking up a bit because it's getting a little bit warmer, coming back into growth, things like that. Some are in bloom. Take it through the growing season, and during the growing season some of my Dendrobiums actually bloom. You know, some of them bloom June time, you know, midsummer. So it does vary, and you know, that's the idea of the talk. So within that frame, yeah, if you've got anything that you think absolutely must be included in a talk like that, you know, if you were the one sat down, you know, with your legs crossed and your arms folded, waiting to be informed, what bits would you know, just have to be there, sort of thing. And certainly, I mean, I don't think I'll be missing out any types of Dendrobiums because, you know, I've got samples of many, so that won't happen. But yeah, so just pack your ideas in the comments so that when I come to put it together, I don't miss anything out. You know, I can include as much as possible. I've got 45 minutes, so you know, I haven't got half a day. So anyway, that's the idea, and some people are worried about me filming with my bad thumb. I press the button when I start filming, and I press it again when I stop filming. It's not exactly strenuous. But I think I do have a problem. It's thinking stuff through. I picked up a large container of water today and tried pouring it with my right hand without supporting it, and the handle was on top of the container, and all the back of my hand jarred. Not bad, but the same type of pain as I got from those secateurs that time, when my whole hand virtually froze up. And I think there's still some damage there from that particular time, and that could be having an effect on, on my thumb. It's all to do with tendons and stuff, So anyway, the brace has arrived, and I've discovered I can't use it when I'm watering, but most of the time I can concentrate enough, because when I'm watering, apart from lifting plants down, much of which can be done with my left hand, it's only the larger ones I might need two hands, and the watering process, I hold the plant with my left hand. All I'm doing with my right hand is using my glass, to do that. So it's not a big deal. It's not heavy either, and I can't wear my brace while I'm doing it because it'll get soaking wet, and then it would be not very nice at all to have to wear it when it's wet. So the times I need it, like now, I'm not going to do it now, I've got another thing to do today, but I need to get a layer of shade netting off the grow room. That means using steps, screwdrivers and things like that. That's when I need my brace, to stop me forgetting and bending my thumb. While I'm filming I don't forget. In fact, my thumb is in a natural resting position. I don't need it when I'm asleep. My thumb seems to just stay still while I'm asleep. That's not a problem. And if I'm just resting, sort of watching a bit of telly in the evening or something like that, again, I don't need the brace on then. I need it for the times when I would forget and bend my thumb inadvertently and do the ouch dance. You've seen the ouch dance, surely? Oh, you must have done. I'm sure some of you have done the ouch dance. Anyway, I don't plan on doing that because I can do without of it. That's it. So put your ideas in for a 45-minute talk on taking the different types of Dendrobiums that I've got through the 4 seasons, especially the transitions, because that's the bit that people seem to have the most trouble with. It's just getting that transition right and the timing and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, so just a quick video today, more of a chat than anything. I'm just trying to think, I don't think there's any new blooms out. We don't get to look at this very often because it's up in the roof. This is a very, very nice little Vanda. Strictly speaking, it's an Ascocenda, but the Ascocentrum, I think, was the species, got reclassified as Vanda, so so instead of being like an intergeneric, it's now a Vanda crossed with a Vanda, so it's a Vanda. It's never been positively identified. It's not worth trying. There are so many, of this sort of autumny orangey type colour with the relatively clustered blooms. Closest I've got really is Orange Delight. That's a pretty good match, but you can never tell definitely. Right, so everybody will want to look at that, won't they? It is pretty good stuff, isn't it? There's a cluster of 3. There is actually a 4th bloom round the back, so there is actually a cluster of 4 buds here, but 3 of them just happen to open in one direction, and the 4th is sort of slightly behind. But there are actually 4 buds there, that's pretty good stuff. So that performs well for me, it just does well. And we haven't got the backlighting today to sort of light it up, but we've certainly got the fragrance. And yeah, I've got computer stuff to do today. I'm going to have a flipping good tidy up and a backup. Getting a bit cluttered in there, and I can potter away at that this afternoon once I've got this video done, and get those ideas in for a talk on Dendrobiums, and then I'll start putting that together. I certainly wouldn't attempt to film it all at once. I'll do it in sections and start putting that together. And you know, when it's done in sort of draft form, I'll stick it on YouTube for you to see and check spelling and see how it's turned out. The trouble is, it's not like a slideshow with just words or something like that. You can't redo it, which is why I'd like the comments up front, if you see what I mean, the ideas, and make sure you get this in, make sure you talk about this, all that sort of stuff. Because once it's filmed, the only way of making corrections is to refilm, and that seriously is a pain in the proverbial. You know, plants would have to be got back, things set up again, you know, so I'd like to get the filming as close as possible first time out. It usually works that way, so we'll see how we go. Oh, the sun's just gone in. That'll make a difference. This time of year when the sun's lower in the sky. It goes from easily filming to, oh dear, I'm probably going to go out of focus any minute. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Thanks for dropping by. And get those Dendrobium ideas in there. Let's cram as much as possible into 45 minutes as we possibly can and make it a good one. And we'll go from there. Bye for now. See you next time.